This past year, I was lucky enough to work with the Western Sydney Wanderers women's team who compete in the Ninja A League here in Australia. I was brought in as an assistant physio to Andrew, who was the main physio and has been there for a couple of years. So it was quite cool to see the systems that he had built thus far. And yeah, I just want to talk about some of the insights and learnings that I've had in the last probably 8 to 9 months. The main thing for me that I've noticed is how under-resourced it is as a league, not just at Wanderers, but from players that I know who play in the league, physios who work in the league. It's just the money isn't there. Again, the talent is there, the staff interest is there, the commitment is there, but the funding to back it up to allow these players to go full-time professional just unfortunately isn't there at the minute. A big part of it was the fact that the girls aren't full-time athletes. Yes, they're professional athletes, but unfortunately the A-League, the Ninja A-League isn't a full-time profession for a lot of these girls. Most of them either study, go to school, or work alongside their contracts and their time spent in the A-League. So we would train in the mornings and then the girls would usually go to work or school or university. Melbourne City, for example, who are part of the City football group, which is Man City, New York City FC, all these big companies are all under the one banner of the City football group. They obviously have a lot more resources than we do at Western Sydney. And that's not to say that that's the reason why they're always consistently top of the league, but I'm pretty sure it's one of them. Another learning that I had is that, and I knew this before, but it's kind of compounded after this year, is that I really enjoy working in this space. I find working with female athletes to be challenging from obviously a male going into that female space, but also I don't know, I just have more interest in it, whether it's that it's like having a whole bunch of younger sisters is how I've described it before, but I don't want to get into the technicalities of menstrual cycle and all of that because it's obviously shown to not affect training and that kind of stuff, but it does. And I really enjoyed diving into that and talking to a lot of the girls about it. And the more and more they trusted me, the more we were able to dive into these kind of topics. And on that, I find building trust is one of the most important things working in the female space. So I've previously worked in AFL with Bombers, and that was both men's and women's, and I found again I'd gravitate towards the female side because the lack of resources there, the lack of professionalism that is afforded to the girls, and I always wanted to leave that better than when I found it, basically. And obviously carrying that into a professional setting was way more applicable. But yeah, going back to it, the trust, getting girls to trust you it's quite a rewarding thing for me. I do enjoy it quite a bit. And when you do get their trust, good things happen and you can have these weird conversations and awkward conversations that they might not have with someone else. And that leads to then further discovery, further ability to help them, and it's just it's a wonderful thing. Another big learning for me was in and around timelines of rehab and being definitive in your diagnosis and this kind of thing. So having come from the semi-professional space where I was working with a very good team who could afford to rest players 1 week and not risk them another week and not have these international camps and all of these extra things that these players are doing. Coming into this space with Wanderers was quite eye-opening as to, yes, we can image a lot of things, but the importance of diagnosis from the minute they're injured to getting the imaging to relaying that to the coach, to the player, this is how long you're going to be out, this is the usual timeline of what it takes. This is where it comes into play with potential camps that you have coming up, potential fixtures that we have coming up. And yeah, it's just a lot more moving parts compared to, like I said, a semi-professional level where you might not scan everything and you might give it a bit more time just to reduce the risk of recurrence. In the professional space, you're not afforded that time. You have to push the boundaries a little bit in terms of rehab, and again, it's a time game and getting these players back as quick as they can because it's not a long season. And lastly, just because otherwise this video would be 20 minutes to half an hour long, I've learned how much fun working in professional sport is, and maybe it's again the working in the area that I'm passionate about, but it's all, everyone is there with the same goal of bettering the players, bettering, like, better results, better fitness, better strength, better performance on field, better mental resilience, better physical resilience. And it's quite cool when you have people who are passionate about the area, because in that area the pay isn't great. You're not there for the money, it's there because you enjoy being in that space. And I found a lot of enjoyment from that, and the drive to be better, the drive to be better for the team, to be better for the staff, to be better for the other physio, to be better just across everything, and to give as much as I could and kind of pull my weight, I suppose. Yes, it's a lot of work and it's early mornings and it was commuting and all of this kind of stuff, but I genuinely loved every bit of it, and I would get such, I never once went to work thinking, oh, another day, I'm tired. Like, it was always, I enjoy being here, I love this, what can I do? And yeah, looking back on it now, I'm kind of privileged to be able to say that, and hopefully in the next year or so, couple of years, that I'll continue to grow in this space, because I don't want to leave the space of women's football. Football is the sport that I know. Female athletes are the population that I like to work with. So yeah, that's just a bit of a recap on some of the things I learned. Although it's not everything, I might make another one, but these are just one of the ones that came into my head quite quickly. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, stick around, subscribe, and then who knows what other kind of videos I'll make here.